I won't be a slave.
Oh, didn't you know? Never trust the wicked. When the cards are on the table, they tell wicked lies and fables. Unable to be dropping the prophecies like we be. Flipping off through the scriptures like Exodus 15 and 3. Ooh, the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. How could you think to even add much more? Or is you lacking understanding? Because these pork chop preachers be lying but still demanding. Looting money from your pockets though. But never to teach you when they reach you that the son of God's a so-called Negro. A woolly gray afro and dark. That's where we step in to tear these lies apart. Scripture after scripture, let it rip you if you wicked. The Israelites are coming from Eastern to Pacific. Scholars are prolific with the scriptures like Solomon. All praises to the Most High that he chose us, now we in.
Here's a little something about the hidden truth. Somebody should have told you about the hidden truth. What? You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
Here's a little something about the hidden truth. Somebody should have told you about the hidden truth. What? You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
As it is written, the truth is sitting inside of a simple mind of a holy nation that doesn't know that they're divine. So let us take this time to run the line on the future. Prophecy of how the devil seduced you. There's more religions than there are pigeon dung, but none of these religions can tell you where you truly come from. This message is for the ones they call minority in the USA ghettos up under Satan's authority. The vast majority of my people don't have the true knowledge and understanding of the Bible, that they're the Jews. That's right, Christ and all the prophets have a dark complexion. So any foes of the facts don't have no protection. We make connection with the past with knowledge of the ever-present Bible to help my people with their suicidal tendencies, cause they tend to be led astray. We looking for that one trait, headed for the payday.
Here's a little something about the hidden truth.
Come on.
Somebody should have told you about the hidden truth.
What?
You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
Here's a little something about the hidden truth. Somebody should have told you about the hidden truth.
What?
You can't get away from the hidden truth, cause it's real.
What's real?
It's real.
That's right.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Welcome to another exciting edition of The Hidden Truth. I'm your host. I'm Priest Kazakia. We're the Hebrew Israelites, and we're located here in Houston, Texas at 8524 South Braeswood. And we have classes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and also Sabbath morning classes. Mondays and Wednesdays and from 7 to 10, Fridays from 9 to 12, and Sabbath morning classes. You brothers and sisters are welcome here in Houston to come to class. If you're out of town, we have the Ustream. Something wrong with our computers today, brothers and sisters, so we can't put the text up. But our Ustream is ISBHPK, and you can go on there and on those class days and check out our live streaming classes, or check us out on YouTube. Okay, we have various basic topics in classes on YouTube, touching various themes and subjects that we deal with. Okay, we like to say shalom to the brothers in the other camps of ISBHPK, Banabad, Mashawa, Kabakab, all the brothers from Atlanta, brothers from San Antonio. We like to say shalom. Okay, and
Shalom.
Today I'm with Priest Tahawan Mayam.
Hey, shalom, brothers and sisters.
And Priest Lakama.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Okay, and we're here to talk about, what are we here to talk about today, Priest Tahawan?
Well, I want to go over marriage. Talk about the institution of marriage, where it came from, how it goes, how you go about being married according to the scriptures.
Okay.
Because a lot of people have a misconception because of the way that we're raised in Babylon the Great. We're raised in this wicked society. They put a lot of pagan customs and backed it biblically. You know what I mean? They read the Bible during the wedding ceremony.
Okay.
So everybody thinks everything that's going on in there is biblical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, when you read from the scriptures, you find out there's a lot of things that the methods we take right now for marriage are not the same as what was going on in the Bible.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Got you. So we're going to be talking about marriage today.
Right.
And I think this is a good subject and topic because how we grew up to think marriage was a piece of paper.
Right.
We thought unless you got a paper or a ring,
right,
that was the only way you were considered married.
Exactly.
And that's dealing with, it is we're dealing with society.
Right.
But we're going in the way the Most High ordained it. He created it.
Right.
And that we should really be following.
Right. Because, you know, for brothers and sisters out there, we need to understand that we're not just trying to get back to the times of Moses. We're actually trying to get back to the times of Adam.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where things were perfect.
Okay.
Now the times of Moses, as Christ is going to explain it in the scriptures we go to, but certain things were set up because of how wicked we were. And because we had just came out of another Babylon the Great. We just came out of Egypt.
Okay.
And so we were 400 years in an Egyptian society of their rules, their customs. And we had to know that these were not our customs.
Right.
So he set down laws. But before that, we had marriage customs. We had certain ways of going about marriage. And the main one, and that's mainly what the show is focused on, is that sex is marriage.
Okay.
The actual act of sexual intercourse is marriage. The Most High considers you married at that point.
And I know we're going to go into this. We're going to go into it today. But, just from the basic looking at you having sex with all these women and really not dealing with them, you can see how spiritually a lot of women of our people, the Israelites, they're affected by that at a young age.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's a big part of what I want to focus on, was because there's people out there of Israel, what I mean, when you go on Facebook, YouTube, that they're saying, you guys are using the sexist marriage thing to oppress women. Well, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? I
haven't heard that one yet,
right.
You got me.
Well,
okay.
Like a brother, because there's cats that do that. You know what I mean? They find out sex is marriage, and they, hey, I'm gonna go knock up this girl, and then you know what I mean? I'm gonna say,
you gotta marry me.
Yeah,
okay,
we're married now.
I get what
you know
you're
what I mean?
saying. Okay,
like surprise, we're married now. You know what I mean?
Right, like trick them into now we're marriage and mess with their conscience.
Right, and these are the types that took the grace of the Most High, the freedom, the liberty, and they turned it to lasciviousness. They turned it to their own personal, lust.
Right,
you know
right.
I mean? But the thing is, what we're showing you is that yes, sex is marriage. And if you teach against it, if you teach against sex being marriage just because of those type of people, you know what I mean, then you're also knocking down the entire institution the Most High set up of marriage.
Right, and we're saying from the sense of deal with responsibility.
Right.
Deal with these women that you're laying with.
Right.
Because the Most High didn't ordain a man to go sleep around with women.
Right, exactly.
We're not, the Most High, the Bible doesn't condone that.
Right.
You dealt with a woman, you have the responsibility.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
No gigolos.
Right.
No gigolos, exactly.
Yeah, and the one of the first scriptures
which we all came from, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing, that, so we're not coming from this perspective to, if you look at a man in this society, he doesn't want to deal with responsibility. So we're definitely not coming from, I can't get a woman and I want to bog somebody down with the, we're coming from the sense of our people have been lost. The men have not assumed their responsibility as a man, as a father, as a husband.
Right.
And this is why this topic is important. Not to trick somebody.
Right.
That's these young idiots, man, that just is defaming the name of the Most High.
Right. Want to talk about raping 9-year-olds and it's okay to rape women.
Right.
Well, this is not Israelite customs. This is not the way we roll. And we got to remember, we came from a righteous seed.
Right.
We came from a man that was righteous. We didn't come from, only warriors or only,
Right, right.
You're talking about times of war, if you laid hold on a woman and you took her. Okay, well, what about when you were just being a righteous man that was teaching the Bible? You didn't just grab any woman up and make her your woman. You know what I mean? Like that. So these are the kind of things that we got to knock out of our heads for brothers and sisters out there, is that, we carried ourselves according to a certain standard. We carried ourselves righteously. And, first thing I want to do, though, is just show you that the Most High is okay with marriage. You know what I mean? There's nothing against a man and a woman getting together, according to what the Catholic Church thinks. Their priests got to be celibate monks, you know what I mean? And these things. This is not the custom of the Most High. So let's knock that out first. If you can go real quick to Hebrews. Go chapter 13, verse 4 in Hebrews. All right. And I'm going to go from the new to the old, so, for you Torah only types and for you people that just only want to do the Old Testament, that's cool. We're going to go there too. But just know this, that Christ came to give edification on the old because some people got tied up in the Old Testament custom,
Right.
and they started using that just like brothers do it for lasciviousness. You know what I mean? Like brothers do nowadays, like sisters do nowadays.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Some sisters, they get stuck on a man romantically, emotionally, and so they, oh, okay, I'll just put this on him, then show him the scripture, the sex is marriage. So it's used both ways.
Right. Absolutely.
Men use it, women use it.
Right.
And we got to knock that out. So go ahead and read that.
Hebrews chapter 13, verse 4. Marriage is honorable.
Marriage is what?
Honorable.
Right, marriage is honorable. So what the Most High is showing you, what the scriptures are showing you, is marriage is an honorable institution. The Most High set it up as an honorable thing. It's a good thing. All right. Read on.
In all, and the bed undefiled.
And the bed, if it's undefiled, and that's something we're gonna go into also, is what defiles a woman, what defiles a man. We're gonna go into those things because if you know, according to the Bible, if a woman go out and lay with another man, she's defiled. You know what I mean? If a man go out and lay with a woman that's married to another man, he's defiled.
Right.
He's committed an abomination. So if the bed is undefiled, if the man ain't going around just putting it in everything he sees,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Right,
and,
right.
And things like that, that's when marriage is good. It's an honorable marriage.
Right.
When the woman isn't stepping outside on her man and treating the marriage like, oh, he didn't buy me a new car this year, so I'm going to go sleep with the man who will.
Right.
If she's treating it like it's a good marriage, then that's an honorable marriage. It's an honorable thing. Go ahead.
But whoremongers and adulterers, God will judge.
Right, as you were saying. You know what I
Right.
mean? The whoremongers, these are the type of people that are going, they like, you know, if you take the strict definition of a whoremonger, this is a man that's going out and he's dealing with a lot of prostitutes. He wants to go lay with whores and prostitutes. But also a whoremonger is a person that wants to jump around and sleep with everything he sees and not take them to marriage. See that? So, you know, the whoremongers and what?
And adulterers.
And adulterers.
Right.
Read.
God will judge.
The Most High is going to judge them.
Right, right. And you know what? This comes down to the music today. This is what music, hip-hop music, rap music, R&B, this is what they're promoting.
Exactly.
They're promoting that whoremongering spirit.
Right.
Hit it and quit it. We're going to raw run a train. You know, down low, all that. This is the ideals that's being pumped in the blacks and Hispanic, the Israelite communities.
Oh yeah, and that's some of the images. You know, if the show wasn't messed up, you know, for the images.
Right.
But you look at Nicki Minaj. She just did a new album. She's for all the talent she has, she started to sit up there on her oh, there it is, on her album cover like a common stripper.
Right.
You know what I mean? With no clothes on. I mean, where are you supposed to feel like, okay, I bought this because she sings so well?
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Like you got to put this in a black bag when you leave the store. And you know, the Sports Illustrated does it. You know, that was her comeback. Sports Illustrated puts half-naked women on there, but they're not advertising them for that talent. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're being advertised for your singing ability, for your ability to rap, but you got to be butt naked on your CD cover. And these are the things. These are the images the society puts on our women. They put on our children. And so you grow up thinking that this is what you need. You know what I mean? You grow up thinking this is a honorable marriage.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna go find this, and that's gonna get me through.
Right. And then you never really talk to them.
Right.
You never. And this is how we become whoremongers.
Right.
As a nation.
Right.
Because we never really understand how to deal with a woman.
Right.
And all we do, like I always say, we pop our little skeeter popper and everything from, you know, from our youth on up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you got 50 babies running out there.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you never really understand that the wisdom of the Bible is not a comic book, but it's actually the instruction on how to deal with a woman.
Right.
It goes all through the Bible and tells you what type of woman to choose. You know what I mean? How to deal with them. How for you to be a man and deal with them according to knowledge.
Right. And that's funny. I was going through the Genesis breakdown with the sister, and what y'all got to understand is when Adam was put to sleep, when it says he put him into a deep sleep.
Right.
When you read in Job, when he put in that deep sleep, that's when he sealed his instruction. He taught him how to deal with his woman that he was going to bring him.
There we go.
So these are things that were sealed in us. When you get wisdom, that's sealed in you.
Right.
To know how to deal with your woman, and for the woman to know how to deal with her man.
Right.
You know what I mean? The scriptures was there to show us now how to deal with one another.
Yeah, and it goes right back to what you're reading, a marriage undefiled. Like, how does it stay undefiled? Well, we got to get the instruction from the scriptures. You know,
exactly.
or else we go and we start defiling and threesomes.
Right.
You know what I mean? You start orgies.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's where when you get man, you get T.I. and Will Smith and them are known for that.
Right.
But T.I. and his girl is known for that, letting threesome in. And every time you bring that into your house and you defile that bed, now the man is thinking, oh yeah, it's just gonna be for me, but that defiles the woman.
Exactly.
So yeah, it defiles the woman and it defiles the man too.
Oh, yeah.
But what I'm saying is when men think they're doing something that's gonna be pleasing to them,
right?
It actually now she wants to have sex and watch him watch.
Right. Or now she's a lesbian because you brought in another woman to sleep with both of y'all. You know what I mean? Roman. Chapter 1.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, Roman, like the Greco?
Like the Greco-Roman customs.
There you go.
You know, it's the same thing.
Right. That's why Paul had to write Romans chapter 1 to them. You know, that letter to the Romans.
Exactly.
But I'm just showing you with these scriptures just that marriage is a good thing. You know what I mean? After that, the other scripture I had was in Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus chapter 25. You know, read verse 1.
Yeah, this is a strong topic, man, that if we go through the scriptures and we study on this, we'll start unifying the households, the families. You know what I mean? The men and the women, and we'll start making better decision making when you go deal with a woman.
Right.
You know, and that's why we're putting it together.
Right. Exactly.
Is so the man won't jump out there. How many mistakes have we made by sticking your thing in every little thing, and now you got kids out there? Exactly. That's what we got to prevent.
Right.
Because now you got children across the world bitter as hell, angry because why? Daddy wasn't there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And how do you stop that? Well, you know what I mean? Understand what the spirit behind what you're doing.
Right.
Being a whoremonger, you know what I mean? Being an adulteress.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it goes right back to the things we're learning from music, from rap, from TV. You know what I mean? Especially from rap and hip hop.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's all about, let's run a train. Let's you know what? I hit it first. You know what I mean? You get sloppy seconds.
Right.
You know that.
Ain't no fun if the homie ain't
can't have none. I mean,
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I mean that's the thing. Like it's still going back to that scripture about the marriage got to be undefiled. You know, what I mean? The bedroom got to be undefiled. So again, I want to impress on y'all that marriage is good. According to the Most High, it's not a Catholic priest type of deal where marriage is off or it's Christ said that not everybody can receive that instruction of being a eunuch or
right. So you're not saying that when you become a follower of Christ, that you have to restrict yourself sexually.
Right. Exactly.
Paul said that was his gift.
Right.
You know what I mean? He wished that we all had that gift.
Right.
Because when you don't have a wife or a husband, you know what I mean? You can give yourself to the Most High, but that wasn't a law.
Exactly. And Christ said the same thing. Not every man can receive this word. You know what I mean? When they asked him if that's the case, it's not good for a man to marry.
Right.
He said not everybody can receive that. You know what I mean? Some people, they're not going to get that. I need a wife. I need a little something when I get home. Not a problem. But we just going to show you how to pick that woman. You know what I mean? The scripture's going to show you that.
Right, absolutely.
So, again, one more scripture just to show y'all that that marriage is good is Ecclesiasticus in your Apocrypha, chapter 25, verse 1.
In 3 things I was beautified and stood up beautiful both before God and man. The unity of brethren.
Right, so the unity of brothers, the Most High takes pleasure in that. He sees it as beautiful. Go ahead.
The love of neighbors.
The love of neighbors, right? So when you get along with your neighbors, the people who live around you, that's a good thing. Go ahead.
A man and a woman that agree together.
See that? And a man and woman that agree together. All right. Now, how do you know you agree with a woman? Off a one-night stand?
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you know that the things that she likes in you or the things she likes in general in life are the same as what you like? You don't get that off a one-night stand. Off a one-night hookup, I met you in a bar, I got drunk, I slept with you, or I hit it while your man was gone. You don't get that. Does she agree with me off of that? So what you have to do, and I'm kind of skipping ahead, but we're going to go in Ecclesiasticus 26. we're gonna have to find a good woman. You know, if you're a woman, you're gonna have to look for that good man. And for y'all out there, for y'all women, Proverbs 12:8, a man's gonna be commended according to his wisdom.
Right.
So he's not gonna be commended according to how much money he has, the car he drives, the marriage license, all this stuff that they threw in there.
Yeah.
That's not what commends a man.
Right.
What commends a man is his wisdom. All right. So that's Proverbs 12:8. So you can look that up. Now we're showing the men what they need to do when they find a woman.
Right.
So read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26, verse 1.
Right.
Blessed is the man that has a virtuous wife.
Right. Blessed is a man that has a virtuous wife. He has a good wife. All right. Where you at?
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26 and verse 1.
No, verse 20.
Verse 20.
Right.
When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
Right. When you found a fruitful possession, what that's talking about is that your woman is a possession. So saith the scriptures. Not me. We're not being chauvinist. This is what the Bible says. If you don't like it, do what some of the churches do. Do what some of the rebellious Israelites do and cut that part out. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
But you're disobeying the scriptures. All right. He said you find a good possession. Read.
Through all the field.
Right. Throughout all the world. All right. Go ahead.
Sow it with thine own seed.
Get a marriage license.
Sow it with thy own seed.
Go get a preacher.
Sow it with thy own seed.
Right, so I had to kind of jump ahead with this scripture, but the thing is these type of things, the marriage license and all that, in the beginning, it wasn't required. You found a good possession, and you sowed it with your seed. That's what made y'all man and wife. And I'm going to back that up with another scripture in Genesis in a second. But we didn't do the marriage license. We didn't have an exchange of rings. It didn't say get on your knees and beg her to marry you.
Right,
you know what I mean? Have vows and all that. You know, these things they're good things. They're nice little customs and they're romantic, but they're not required by the Most High.
Right.
That's not what the Most High says is marriage.
Right.
See that?
And this is, I'm glad you said that because this is important.
Right.
You can do the custom.
Right.
You can go ahead and get married, but what is supposed to take precedence over a piece of paper, over jewelry, over a car, over a ring, is supposed to be the acknowledgement above all that when you stick your penis in this woman, that she is your wife.
Right. And that's what people are getting misconstrued with the, you know, when we go into the virgin birth and all this stuff is, it says before they came together, but what it's talking about is the Hebrew customs that we had.
Right.
That he didn't lay with her on a bed and then give the sheet to her parents.
Right.
And then he didn't do all that. He didn't wait until the appointed time, and that's all customs we had according to law.
Right.
You understand? So he didn't do those things, as he did it according to the Most High.
Yeah.
And that's why when the angel came, he said, "Don't be afraid to take to you Mary, your wife."
Right.
Because we know what you did.
Right. We know what you did.
Even if people don't know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Go ahead, read that.
You know what? I'm just real quick. This keeps a lot of these young women, man. And I think about your daughter. You know what I mean? They got to think about their daughter. They got to think about their sons.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And if you think about your daughter, and this is to the T.I.s, to the Lil Waynes, to all the rappers that's running around talking about, you peed on them, you popped it, and you let the whole crew ran through it. The Most High is telling you, look at what you're producing. Look at the product of what you're creating. You're creating harlots, whores. You're creating your own children to be whores, to have baggage, brain problems, man issues. You created that. And until we as men of wisdom and understanding stop that and understand, okay, we have faults, we messed up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Until we stop that with our children, it's a consistent cycle of now you have a woman that slept with 10 men and now she doesn't know how to deal with a man. You know what I mean? She's loud, she's stubborn, she's rebellious, she's stiff-necked. And even the man also, he can't control his brain. And you know, how many brothers and sisters we get into school with these marriage problems because they don't have patience, love, kindness, sincerity. Because when they got together, it was sexually.
Right.
It wasn't really about, let me date this woman first to see if we have things in common. It sounds kind of old school and whack, but truthfully, the truth is that how many women you're going to realize that you need to do that with, and how many babies you're going to have across the world till you say, wait a minute, I need to wrap it up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if I'm still wrapping it up, how do I want this woman's head to be?
Exactly.
You got to think of her like that's your daughter, and somebody's dealing with your daughter like that.
Right. And that's the balance also of what we're talking about is sex being marriage. We don't want brothers out there thinking that, okay, I'm just going to have sex and I'll just have to stay with her forever.
Right.
No, the thing is, what we want you to know is the importance of that sexual act. You know what I mean?
Right.
That when you got with a woman, you had to consider, did you want this woman forever?
Right.
So, you know, we're going to pull scriptures about Isaac and Rebekah, Adam and Eve. But the thing was they knew each other.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or when you deal with Rebekah, he sent the servant out and, you know, he gave her the bracelets and all that.
Right.
But it was a proving thing first.
Right.
The servant sat at the well and waited for somebody to give him water.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right,
Waiting
right.
for somebody to do, you know, be nice to him,
Right,
be kind
right,
to him.
right. Yeah, we need to hit that.
Right. And Rebekah, she gave that to his servant and the camels that were with him and everything.
Right.
So she had proved herself. You know what I mean? Because women want to say, oh, well, you know, Isaac and Rebekah, he gave her gifts first. You know what I mean? He gave her this and he gave her that. Or a prostitute gets gifts.
Right.
You know what I mean? Ezekiel told you that Hosea or Ezekiel said that they give gifts to all whores. You know?
Right, right, wow.
But the thing is, what separated that woman was she had proved herself as a woman that man would later go on and sow his seed with.
Right. You know what?
I mean?
Can I just throw one right in there? What's it? Isaiah 24:5, and just dealing with these customs, the laws, the rules, and regulations. What's the first ideal that comes in? A lot of blacks, Hispanics, Puerto Ricans, West Indians, Haitians. What's the first ideals that come in our mind? Oh, that's old school.
Right.
That's old. You know what I mean? You know what? We don't need to follow that. That's played out. That was back in the day.
That was grandma and grandpa.
Yeah, that was grandma and grandpa. It's 2014. We do things different. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, let's see what happened by doing things different. Read that, Isaiah 24:5.
The earth also is defiled under the habitation thereof.
Under the inhabitants thereof. Go ahead.
Thereof, because they have transgressed the law.
Because we transgress and we left from these laws. Exactly. And that's the thing. We left from the customs, the rules. Mm-hmm. So now you're thinking about a piece of paper, a ring or a car or a house, and how financially he is or how endowed he is.
Right.
And you really don't know this nigga's crazy and deranged.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, he's insane or she's crazy and deranged. Right. You know what I mean? You should sit down and talk with her and really realize this chick is going to probably kill me if I do anything wrong.
Right. She's more than just a mini skirt or a G-string and you know, a pair of breasts. You got to see her as, you know, as when we go in the book of Tobit.
Yeah.
He said, I don't take this my sister
in lust.
You know, as lust. I didn't just see her because she got a fat booty and I want to put it in her. No, he said, but uprightly. You know what I mean? He didn't just watch her twerk video and all of a sudden,
I want to hit
you know,
that.
She's a mother figure.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's not a mother figure.
And just on that point right there, man, I know you got to get these scriptures out, but just on that point, she's not a mother figure. Now, what mind state have been put on that type of woman that's twerking? What mind state and what outlook is being put into this woman right here? You know what I mean? Because she's twerking. Mm-hmm. So, you know, you got to think what your actions are and how you're making yourself look.
Exactly.
No, you can say whatever you want to say. Oh, just because I'm twerking, I'm not a good mom? Well, ask every man. Ask every man. They're not looking at you as like, wow, she's a good mother.
Right.
They're looking at, man, I don't care what you say. That's why the scripture says faith without works is dead. That you know a man or a woman by their fruits, their doings.
Right.
So you can say you're a good mother all you want, but when you're twerking, the man is going to be like, okay, this is not a wholesome woman.
Right.
She's not wholesome. Right. But let's finish this real quick.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. Read that.
Because they have transgressed the law.
Right, go ahead.
Changed the ordinances.
They did what?
Changed the ordinances.
They did what?
Changed the ordinances.
Read.
Broken the everlasting covenant.
Right, and this is what the rules of the heathen.
Right.
This is how a woman is portrayed and how we say, and that stupidity. Look, you got the kid there. The stupidity, and you know what the stupid answer of mentality is? Oh, because I'm twerking, I'm not a good mother? Hell no, you're not.
Nah.
You're not a good mother because you know why? Why would a mother do this and show her children this?
Right. And why isn't she sitting down with him reading?
Right. You don't have to put the music up.
No, I wanted her.
Oh, you want to put the music up?
The first 30 seconds of it, actually. I think she's well into it. But, you know, if you're watching the first 30 to 40 seconds of this video, it's a 6-minute video she does this. But if you watch the first 30, 40 seconds of it, you hear the kids saying, "Mom, you stink," from 6, 7 feet away.
Wow.
From where the camera is, you can hear him saying that. So, you know what I mean? This woman, when you're looking at that in the club and you smelling that smell from 7 feet away, you're not thinking how wholesome she is. Like you said, this woman ain't activated no part of your senses. Huh?
No, right.
Yeah, she ain't activated no part of your godly senses. You know what I mean?
Right.
A man don't even want that in his room.
Right. Yeah. You know what? And you know what? Let's say this. There's a lot of men that do want that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They laughing at us like, y'all crazy.
Right.
I hit that. But the thing is this. You will hit that.
Yeah.
You will hit that, and you will have a baby with that.
Right.
And then when you thought you was going to save her and take her out of the strip club, guess what?
Yeah.
You realize now you got a baby mama stripper, you know what I mean, and your child and your daughter's learning that same thing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And they will become that. That's what they will be a product of.
Right.
You know, and that's psychologically in every aspect. If our people look at that the so-called white man has studied this,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? Biblically, we already know it.
Right.
But if you need more information, the white man has studied this. You come up in that environment, this is what you get. Look at wow. Y'all you really want to go deep into this, huh?
The scriptures say, train up a child in the way she will go.
Wow.
When she's old, she will not depart from it. This little girl's going to be a stripper. There ain't no two ways about it. You know what I mean? She doing moves like a grown-up right now. You know what I mean? She moves like the girls in the strip club right now.
That's insane.
Is she still in diapers?
Wow.
And she's coherent about what she's doing.
She know it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So this is how you want to train your child up to be.
Right. And you know what? Our people are proud of this sickness.
Yeah.
This is disgusting, man.
Yeah, I remember that.
I can almost, to a point, understand why those Muslims out there will not let America come and defile their religion.
Yeah.
And then, now we're not down with that with Muslim stuff, but I'm going to say this. I can almost see why they will stone your head to death when you come over there with that American mentality, because this is what you get.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow.
That's the thing. It's like
that just hurt me, man.
Yeah, you gonna train her up that way, and then can't figure out why she didn't grow up to be an astronaut. You know what I mean? Why didn't she make mama proud? You know what I mean? Why is she on pole number 3? Because you trained her that way. You thought it was cute, and you let it go. You just kept doing it like this. And for you brothers, you notice in none of these videos, there's no man to come over there and yell at his woman, tell him to make his daughter stop doing that, because that's what a good man would do.
Wow.
But when he saw the mom doing that in the club, he hit it, left them with the baby, and now they just free to teach the baby what they knew. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
So on this topic of marriage, this is showing that how the Most High said it is better not to have children at all than a multitude of unprofitable children.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's what the point is, that because you don't need the Bible to hold a woman down.
Right.
We're establishing this and this through the scriptures and reminding our people, man, that if you do it the way the Most High says, you won't have a multitude of unprofitable children.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. Yep. So where were you at? You in Isaiah, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, go back to Ecclesiastes.
Wow. And that's the princess boy. Wow.
Yeah, this is what happens. You know what I mean? You leave and that's what the woman is doing right there, man. She training your boys up to be princess boys.
Wow.
You know what I mean? This dude got a book. His mom wrote a book about it or something like that. So it condones this. Go ahead.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 26.
Yeah, you're at 26 verse 20.
Verse 20. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession.
Right, when you find a fruitful possession, go ahead.
Through all the field.
Through all the world, go ahead.
Sow it with thy own seed.
Right, sow it with thy own seed. It's not talking about go out and get a marriage license. Not talking about take a knee, beg her to marry you, the proposal, the big fancy thing. Now, those are all nice. Again, I'm going to say it again. Those are all romantic things. They're all nice. There's nothing against them in the scriptures. But that is not the entire point of marriage. That is not the end all of the marriage. That is not what constitutes
and
you
know that's an American ideology, because America, they take everything and make it for profit.
Right, yeah. And that's exactly what we're going into.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
It's about the money aspect.
Yeah, it's about the money, man.
Yeah. because Michael will tell you that the prophets thereof, they teach for hire, they judge for reward. You know what I mean? So we got these justices of the peace now. You know what I mean? That, you know, you pay them $50 and now all of a sudden you're married. Well, where was that in the scriptures? Why does, you know what I mean?
Right.
For all, you know, especially for us, you know, the Torah keeping brothers out there, the strictly Old Testament types, strictly Old Testament sisters out there. Yeah, I want to say that, okay, we had these certain things, we had these laws, these customs. Well, in the beginning, we had one law: be fruitful and multiply. Right. It didn't say go get a preacher and do all that. Right. You know what I mean? Right. Matter of fact, when we go to Genesis, you were going to find out how we got married then. This wasn't involved. Right. Matter of fact, if you paid, you know what I mean, if you paid for a woman, that was a prostitute. Right. And you weren't supposed to bring the hire of a whore into the congregation.
And you see how they mock it, because when you go to Vegas, you know, many people, they go overnight, they be drunk as hell, and then they sign it, and then, you know, the Britney Spears of Vegas, you know?
Exactly.
And this and all their marriage, you know. That's why nobody really takes marriage serious, because they look at it and know, okay, marriage is really a piece of paper.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, and if without the paper, this ain't a marriage.
This ain't a marriage,
you know
right?
I mean? Or the women, ain't no ring on my finger. So yeah, I'll sleep with the milkman, the cable guy, whoever, because ain't no ring on my finger. You know,
I'm keeping my options open.
Yeah, Texas is a famous one. They got I got friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now you got to find out if this is a friend that she married. And, you know what I mean?
Basically, she's just boinking. Right?
Yeah, it's her baby dad, but she calls it her friend. You know what I mean? Read on.
Trusting in the goodness of thy stock.
Right, you're supposed to trust in the goodness of your stock. So for you men, you're supposed to be good men. You're supposed to have a good stock to even sow in this woman. Go ahead.
So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified.
Where you at? What verse?
Verse 21.
Go ahead.
Having the confidence of their good descent.
Right.
And harlot shall be accounted as spittle.
Right, so a harlot, a woman you had to pay to have sex with, or how our women are growing up to be. This is where the babies are learning those, you know, learning their little twerk videos and stuff from. The Kelly Rowlands, the Beyoncés, the Nicki Minaj's. You know what I mean? This is what they being pumped into.
Right. And once again, this is not against our women. This is showing that how the men have to, because this is really the man, starting from the man, to understand that if we start dealing right with these women and stop popping everyone, you know what I mean, and teaching them, they won't grow up to be that way.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, a lot of sisters be like, oh, yeah, you know, is this about women again as well? It's about men and women. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it starts with the man. Right. You know what I mean? And that marriage is him laying with this woman. You know, we're the only ones in hip hop and rap and R&B singing about, you know, sharing it, hitting it, splitting it. You know what I mean? Right. And you love this. Our people love this, man. Right. Where they at, in the mall? That's a picture from the mall?
Could be, actually. Brazil.
That's how they look in the mall.
This is the streets of Brazil right here. But,
I was at the gym yesterday. I didn't know this girl had a cutoffs or whatever, and it looked like she was basically butt naked.
Yeah. This is because this is what they cultivate here in America. So, you know, for all you that want to push that all these American customs, the wedding ceremonies and all that aren't that they are what constitute marriage. Well, this is another American custom. You know what I mean? Putting your daughters on the block and letting them sell what's used to be a virtuous part of them for money, and give it away for free. Pushing that image of being promiscuous, being a harlot, basically.
See, and what they don't understand, this is just past a sex thing. Right. This is a society moral standard that's been broken down. That breaks down the daughters. This isn't just about, you know what, she's giving up the poom poom. This is, look at the character. Look at the ideal of the woman that's being broke down. The black woman is not being held up as the black queen, as she's supposed to be. The Mexican woman is not the Mexican queen. The Israelite woman is not the queen that she's supposed to be, because you have lowered your standards. You know what I mean? You read that one more time.
And harlot shall be counted as spit.
I mean, yes, a man is going to look at this. But How many men in Hollywood ran through this?
Exactly. And they regard her just like spittle.
And they regard her like spittle.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because her character, how she presents herself, the way she acts, you know what I mean? The way she dresses.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah. Right. And you know what's funny is you see these women, this is a show. This is a show to pump to the kids. When you see the paparazzi catch them, they're fully clothed. When you see the paparazzi catch Nicki Minaj, she's got her natural hair. She got her she ain't got the Barbie doll makeup look on.
Right.
You know what I mean? She keep herself, you know, conservative.
Right.
But when you see their videos, when you watch them when they're doing a show or something like that,
right,
they're always made as harlots.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And that's because why? Because that's American custom. This is all the system of America, or the New Egypt custom. If you look at ancient Egypt, you're gonna find out that ancient Egypt did exactly what America does now.
Right, right.
Though it was about sex, it was about lust, it was about fulfilling your desires. It was nothing about building up a woman.
Right,
right. So why you know, some of these women, they look at us Israelites and they say, "Oh, you guys like to oppress women." No, we like to free women.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? There's nothing oppressive in a marriage.
Right. You know, it's like we were talking about in Proverbs, the 31st chapter, when it tells you about a virtuous woman.
Right.
It tells you, you know, a virtuous woman, she was innovative, she was a thinker,
right,
she was a producer.
Right.
You know what I mean? She had power, but see, the thing the scriptures talk about is unity.
Right.
And not that, now I'm better than you, what America had to put up to divide the households.
Right.
You know what I mean? But we work as a body, a unit, a household.
We're gonna have to go there, man. Go to Genesis.
We got to. Our time is running down, so
go to Genesis.
Let's go there.
Yeah,
and I forgot to tell you, something's wrong with our system back here, so we're not able to do the text and everything like we usually do. My number is 832-643-1359. If you're watching here live today, okay, or if you check it on YouTube, you could still hit us up afterward. Comment, some men will rape those little girl strippers. Yeah, and they're garbage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. Don't think we're condoning men, you know what I mean?
Right.
We have to get the men right.
Yeah.
It got to be them first. It got to be us first.
Right.
And I'll stick to that. You know what I mean? Because until my head start getting right, then I can and really able to understand what it is to be a man. Only then my family structure, my household, and my children were established in order and righteousness.
Right.
But until then, as I was a child and dealt with childish things and going out and doing all that madness, you know what I mean? I didn't understand that. So it starts with us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we definitely ain't condoning these guys, whether rappers or whatever men, is doing this.
Right. So let's get these out real quick, just so y'all can see that it's not about oppressing women.
Right.
All right. This is what we want. This is what we as Hebrew Israelites want. Read Genesis 2:18.
Right.
Verse 18. And the Lord God said, "It is not good that man should be alone.
Go ahead.
I will make him and help meet for him."
A what?
Help meet.
Help what?
Meet.
For him, right? So help meet, M-E-E-T, means comparable to him. You know what I mean? We don't want to have to. If you have a kid and you say, go clean your room, and then he comes back, well, how do I clean my room? Okay, well, you pick up everything off the floor. Well, where do I put it? Yeah, you got to go step by step. You don't want to have to do that. That's not a help meet. That's something that you have to lead about.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's where I want you to get 1 Corinthians 6 and what is it? 1 Corinthians 9. Sorry, 9 and verse 4. All right. But we don't want to have to lead the woman about.
Right.
At first, you were created as a help meet. You were side by side with us.
Right.
And you did the things where we weren't at. You know what I mean?
Right,
You
right.
thought like us. You were
An extension.
Yeah.
She's like, sort of an extension of your thoughts, your ideal.
Exactly.
Like it says, a man and a woman that agree in one.
Right.
You know, they just moved. It was like it's your better half. You know what I mean? It's your counterpart, you know?
Right, and it wasn't until the curses we're going to read later on in Genesis, the curse put on the woman for disobedience was that, okay, now he's going to rule over you.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? And that is a problem. You know, that for us is a strain. You know what I mean? If you take a wife now, you're taking a woman that you got to lead about.
Right.
It's not a something to oppress the women. It's actually going to be more of a strain on you as a man.
Right, right, because now you got to teach her.
Right.
What a real woman is.
Right.
like you were taught what a real man is.
Right. So that's what I'm, I would just want to throw that out there so the women don't think we're just chauvinists and trying to oppress women.
Right.
But no, the thing is, when we take a wife, we take a wife so we could teach her in the ways of the Most High. Right. You know what I mean? And try to make her that help meet that she used to be.
Right, right.
Where we don't have to rule over her, but the power is still given to us.
As opposed of just hitting it and quitting it.
Right.
As opposed to just, crapping on her, giving her more mental issues.
Right.
Now we're taking it as a responsibility and say, this is not only a woman, this is my sister.
Right.
And I treat her like that.
Right.
With respect.
Start at verse 3. Start at verse 3. That's exactly right. Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 3. Mine answer to them that do esteem me, examine me is this.
Right, so this is Paul's answer to people that want to check him and try to look at how he lives his life. Go ahead.
Have we not power to eat and to drink?
Right, am I not a man, basically? Can I eat and drink and do the things that a man do? Read.
Have we not power to lead about a sister?
Right, can we lead about a sister? Read.
A wife.
Or a wife? Right, so it was okay to be married. It was okay to have a wife. Go ahead.
As well as other apostles.
Right, as well as other men. So, again, it's not to oppress women. We lead them about as we lead about other men.
Right.
And so if you can't be subject as a woman to your man, like the scriptures tell you to, then why can't a man be subject to another man?
Right.
As these men were.
Right, right.
You know what I mean? Why is it okay for them? Why is this something a woman can't do? Since y'all want equality?
Right.
You know what I mean? Is this something y'all just can't do?
See, that ideal has been stripped from us to keep division.
Right. Right. And that's why they got all these images of the man on his knee. You know what I mean? The man submitting to the woman. Brothers are going down on women, stuff like this, because that was the custom of Egypt, was to raise the woman up above the man.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Most of their gods and goddesses, most of their gods were goddesses.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they kind of cut the man out of the picture. So here, what we're going to do is show that, no, we have power to lead about a woman. We have that power. We have that right. Marriage was a good thing in our custom.
Right, right.
All right? But I want to go back to Genesis. All right. And we're going to see what marriage was according to the Most High originally. Let's start with Adam and Eve. Genesis 2 and verse 23.
Genesis chapter 2, verse 23.
I'm gonna try to get these
scriptures out.
Read that.
And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
Right. There's a good breakdown to that. We go through that, as you come to class and see us. But she was basically his kindred, and he did this with her. Read.
Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife.
Right. Go ahead.
And they shall be one flesh.
They shall be what?
One flesh.
They shall be what?
One flesh.
Right. So that's what made a man and a woman, man and wife.
Right.
Was that they came together and they became one flesh. How do we know? Read on.
And they were born both naked.
They were both what?
Naked.
Now, this is not the picture that you got painted in your rooms of Adam and Eve.
Right.
They weren't created naked. People get that misconstrued. The Most High said in the Apocrypha, the principal things for a man's life was food, salt, water, shelter, and clothing.
Right.
So we had clothes on. He gave us clothes.
Right.
But at this time,
they got to come to class for that whole breakdown.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. But at this time, Adam and Eve were naked because they had just laid with each other, and that's what made her his wife. And I'm going to get another scripture that backs that. Get 24 verse 67 in Genesis. We're going to deal with Isaac and Rebekah.
Right.
All right. The marriage of Isaac and Rebekah. Now, these were righteous patriarchs. All right. This is how the Most High had set up the institution of marriage in the first place. Go ahead.
Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. And Isaac brought her unto his mother Sarah's tent.
Talking about Rebekah, he brought her to his mother Sarah's tent. Sarah had died a little while before. Go ahead.
And took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
Right, and he took Rebekah, and that's when they laid together. They had sexual intercourse, and she became his what?
Wife.
She became some woman.
His wife.
A harlot.
His wife.
No, she became his wife.
Yep.
Go ahead.
And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted about
his mother's death, right? So what it is, he laid with her. He also loved her. They threw that in there. You know what I mean? But the thing was that they laid together. That's what made them man and wife. It doesn't say there was a priest present, a justice of the peace, a wedding certificate, a validation of any kind.
Right.
It was that they laid together. See that? All right. Now from there, I want you to go to Ecclesiastes in the Bible, 7 verse 29, because we want to examine now where did the marriage license come in?
Right.
Where did the priest come in? Where did all these things come in?
Yeah.
Well, we see how the Most High made it from the jump.
Right. A man laid with a woman, and they two twine, we become one flesh.
There you go.
Right.
See that? That's how the Most High set it up.
Right.
Now, after the law, after Deuteronomy, you started getting into writings of divorcement, tokens of virginity, things that you had to show for, because men were stupid and hard-headed,
right,
and they wanted to try to sneak out on women.
Right.
They got that Egyptian mentality,
right,
or the American mentality of, I'm going to leave this woman, you know what I mean, as Joseph was minded to do.
Right,
you know what
right,
I mean? I'm going to leave this woman, you know what I mean, or I'll divorce this woman for whatever cause, because I just don't like the shrill of her voice after we had the one night stand.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now I'm going to divorce this woman. Well, so the law came in. We had to do these things, right? And this is exactly what this scripture is going to point out. Ecclesiastes 7 and 29, right?
Okay. Verse 29. Lo, this only have I found, that God has made man upright.
See, the Most High made us upright. He made a man and a woman, when they have intercourse, that they're married. They are husband and wife. Read.
But they have sought out many inventions.
But what did man do? They try to find a way out of that. Okay, I'm not really wanting to be with this woman forever. I didn't really seek her out and make sure she was a fruitful possession in all the field. You know what I mean? I didn't make sure she was a good woman, a virtuous woman. I saw the twerk video and damn, you know what I mean?
Right.
I knew she was going to be good for the night. Right. So once they got into that mind state, now you had to bring the law in. Now the inventions had to come in. You know what I mean? We were upright, but we sought out so many inventions. Now he had to lay the law down. See that? And that's why, you know, when they asked Christ about the writing of divorce.
Right. So you had us at the beginning. We had that natural affection.
Exactly.
To where when the man lay with the woman, he knew she gave him something. He gave her something. They created a bond in the spirit.
Exactly.
But what happened was, through that wickedness, you know what I mean? Now it's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to hit that. I'm not married to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right. I wear a condom. We ain't married.
Right, we ain't married.
Yeah. So
right.
Let's go to Matthews, and we're going to come back, but go to Matthew chapter 19, verse 3.
Right.
And,
that's on point, man.
We're going to see where these customs came from, going along with Ecclesiastes. We sought out many inventions.
Right.
All right. So, you know, even the custom of divorce, or the custom of marriage, all these things where we had to put things down on paper now. Now we have to have witnesses. Now we have to, go before the priest and show them the bloody sheet from when I took her virginity.
Right.
And give that to her parents and everything. All these things came from us having these many inventions. See that? And if you read that in the law, you find out that, when they had to give the tokens of virginity and show that to the priest, that was because the man was trying to get out of the marriage. And he was like, oh, when I laid with her, she wasn't a virgin.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I like the spirit you're edifying in, because you could see how over time, you know what I mean, falling from the law.
Right.
You know, the Most High said the earth is defiled and the inhabitants because they transgressed the laws.
Exactly.
Now it's to the point to where it's like, sex ain't even marriage.
Yeah.
You know, that's how they look at it. They don't see that bond. They don't see that connection.
Right.
That one man, going into a woman as a unit. You know what I mean? They're not looking at it like that. It's carnal.
Yeah. And you know what's funny is that we can look at things carnally and say, okay, this is this. Like Blood Brothers. In the 80s, we had Blood Brothers. Cats was trying, before AIDS came out, brothers was cutting their little finger open, doing, acting like Indians, you know what I mean? I want to rub my blood with yours, and we're going to be blood brothers for life. Right. But now, you don't look at the institution of having sex, of you're putting your penis in a woman. Right. You're transferring blood. You're transferring semen. You're transferring her seminal fluids to yourself and back and forth. And that's that's a blood covenant too.
That's right on point. And it goes also into, and the women can understand this. Right. You don't think it's nothing. Right. But the woman, that first woman, when you take her virginity. Oh yeah. You understand? She knows that that's the most special thing to her.
Oh, yeah. It gets in her spirit. Yeah. Man. I always looked at some of these girls in high school when they were getting their first time, and you could see them coming to class crying, and they just got the 1,000-mile stare on them and everything. It's like, what happened? Well, you took my virginity. Like, well, you got with a 34-year-old in your high school. Right. You know what I mean? And you only known him for like 2 days. Wow. And you gave up, you know what I mean? That's terrible. Up what you thought was so important.
Right. And it comes to the point, it gets to the point to where this man psychologically beat down her brain.
Oh, yeah.
And now, you know, once again, that baggage, you know. So she what? Let me try it again. Let me trust again.
Right.
Let me trust a man again.
Right.
And eventually the women lose trust and builds and creates that anger and resentment for that man.
Right. And it's usually they go about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'm going to go down the exact same road.
Right.
Try it with a different man, but the same type. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna,
the same type.
Yeah, I'm not going to do the research and find out, hey, what will make a good man? You know what I mean?
Right.
No, I'm just going to try it again and try it again the same way over and over.
Right.
Which is the definition of insanity.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Go ahead and read that, though. Let's find out where this custom of these things, these ceremonies, this paperwork, all this stuff had to come in. Why did that have to be instituted? Because it is lawful. Right. Those things are lawful. They are according to law. But why did it have to be there?
Right.
What are we trying to get back to? Are we trying to just get back to Mosaic law? Yes. But are we trying to go further back? Are we trying to go back to Adam and Eve?
You know? Exactly, because that's where we're going back to.
Right.
We're going back to the spirit, not the carnal.
Right. The spirit of the law, not the letter of the law.
Right, exactly.
Read that.
Matthew chapter 19, verse 3.
Go ahead.
And the Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause?
Right, now they knew good and well that it was okay for a man to put away his wife, and that's Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 1 through 4.
Because they knew the law.
Right, they knew the law. They knew it was okay for him to writing a divorcement. We're going to go into that, but read that.
And he answered and said unto them, Have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
At what time?
In the beginning.
At the beginning. The Most High made a male and female. Go ahead.
And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave unto his wife.
Right, go ahead.
And they twine shall be one flesh.
Well, right along with what you were bringing out earlier. Yeah. That's how he made us in the beginning, that you take A and B and you put them together, you make, you know what I mean, you make a marriage.
Right.
You know what I mean? So this is how it was instituted from the beginning. But what happened? Read.
Therefore, they are no more twine, but one flesh.
Right. They're no more two different people, but they one flesh. Read.
What therefore God has joined together, let not man put asunder.
See that? So he said, let not man put asunder. All right. Go ahead. So we're on 19 verse 5.
Well, Matthew 19 verse 5, and he said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twine shall be one flesh. Wherefore they are no more twine, but one flesh. What therefore the Most High have joined together, let no man put asunder.
Right. I want you to read through verse 8.
Okay. They say unto him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement?
Right. Now we're going to find out, where did the writing system come from? Where did the law system come from? You could put her away, or, you know, you guys have to have witnesses. And where did all this come from?
Right.
It didn't come from the Most High necessarily. It came from this reason. Read.
And to put her away.
Go ahead.
He said unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts.
Right. It came from you being hard-headed niggas. And from you wanting to not value the institution of having sex with that woman as a marriage.
Right.
And so now we need proof. Now I need tokens of virginity in Deuteronomy.
Right.
I need a wedding vows. I need all these things, as marriage rings. I need the public to see it.
Right.
Because now I need something to validate that me and this woman got together. Because before, men just started getting into the mode of, I'm going to find the woman, I'm going to lay with her, and then I'm going to go ahead and say, I don't really want nothing to do with her no more. So now we had to have proof because of the hardness of our hearts. The writing of divorcement wasn't an original thing you could do. You couldn't divorce your woman because it wasn't even in your mind to do so.
Right.
We were righteous. You know what I mean?
Wow.
You knew I laid with this woman. I shared blood with her. So she's going to be my wife forever.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But what happened is, because of the hardness of our hearts, because we went through 400 years of slavery in Egypt,
right.
Now you got to write in a divorcement.
Right.
Go ahead.
Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives.
See that? He allowed it. He suffered you to do that. Go ahead.
But from the beginning, it was not so.
But from the beginning, that is not the way marriage was set up. All right. That's why he said, for what God has joined, let no man put asunder.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, why is this still going on? Why are we able, and I'm going to close with these scriptures real quick, but why is it that we're in this condition we are now? I want to go to Hosea chapter 4 and verse 14.
Right.
All right, because this is why we're in the condition of, okay, I had sex with this woman and now I don't want her and I can put her away for Israelites, for, you know what I mean, that they know the law. And yeah, it's okay for me to divorce this woman. Or, hey, yeah, for the women, they're pushing this. Oh, yeah, it's okay to divorce your man because it was in Deuteronomy.
Right.
Well, remember, from the beginning, it was not so. That's what Christ, he didn't, you notice Christ didn't go against the Pharisees and say, no, that's not in the law.
Right.
No, he said, yeah, but from the beginning, it wasn't like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's not what the Most High intended. Because
exactly.
you guys, you Israelites, you blacks and Hispanics are stubborn and rebellious.
Right.
This is why he put this in here. So you could see it on paper and remember what was supposed to be.
Exactly.
Remember the contract. And we were bad at that.
Yeah.
We broke the contracts with the Most High.
Yeah, try to find loopholes and everything.
Exactly.
So we're going to read this, Hosea 4 and verse 14. And this is why there's such wickedness in Israel right now. It's because the Most High is not going to punish us right away for these things. You know what I mean? When the women go out and want to be prostitutes and be whores and things like that, they get to do it with impunity. Why? Because the Most High is not immediately checking that. He's long suffering now.
Right.
He doesn't go and have the congregation stone her no more.
Right.
He doesn't have these things go on. But read that.
I'll read it. It says, I will not punish your daughters when they commit whoredom.
Right. So he's not punishing the Beyoncés. He's not punishing the women like this when they go out and commit whoredom, when they do this stuff in public and post these pictures all over Facebook, YouTube, MySpace, whatever. He's not punishing them right away. Go ahead.
Nor your spouses when they commit adultery.
Right. And he ain't going to punish the men for not doing the right thing. So for those that, you had sex with a woman, now you're thinking, oh, damn, that was marriage. No, the times of the ignorance the Most High winked at, Acts 17 and 30. If you want to take her as your wife and she wants to live with you as a husband, well, that's cool. Do that. And know that sex was marriage. But the Most High, the reason that wickedness has gotten so bad is the Most High is not punishing because of your adulteries. He's not punishing no more because of your whoredoms. Go ahead.
For themselves are separated with whores.
Right. See, the brothers is trying to say, oh yeah, I'm up this woman, you're my wife now because I had sex with you. Well, you was separated with a whore, so you broke the law anyway. You was a gigolo in the world. You know what I mean? So you can't even just use that to put a woman under your rule. Right. You know what I mean? You can't use that. So we know this. Go ahead.
And they sacrifice with harlots.
Right, and you sacrificing with harlots. You're going to the strip club. You're going all this. So ain't no men that get to stand up and say, oh, yeah, you're my wife now because we had sex. No.
Right.
If you know this woman and she's consenting to that, that's when you get to do that.
Right.
And that's the scripture I want to close with. Also, Judges 5:11. We're supposed to be rehearsing the righteous acts.
Right, exactly. Brothers and sisters, we're going to be here next week, 8:30. Same time, check us out. We're live. Check us out on YouTube. We'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, and we'd like to say peace, which is shalom.
Shalom.
That was good. That was good. You brought up scriptures.
So bad. It just came.